This is Pantasy's toy store. Wait, no. This is Pantasy's toy store. To honour 5 amazing years of Pantasy builds, Pantasy have come out with a brand new modular for the year to celebrate the birthday. And what have they come out with? A toy store. First of all, I think that's an amazing idea anyway. What a unique way to show off a bunch of your old products, have a bunch of your own history, while also making something completely new. They're making a toy store. Pantasy is a toy, and it's a perfect way to show this off. Having kind of a diorama of, going to get a Pantasy set is such a good idea to keep in line with their company values. I really, really like the idea. And I've been really lucky enough to work with Pantasy over the last 2 years, and I've been really lucky to build this set. So why don't we have a look at it? I cannot wait to show you guys this one. It is really, really special. And Pantasy have really been blowing it out of the water this year with their modulars, haven't they? Let's take a look at the box. Every set needs to come in a box, and Pantasy really take it to the next level. Here is the toy store box. You can see this is set 85031 and has that amazing Pantasy branding that we all love. We can see some of the minifigures on display here. It absolutely looks fantastic. Again, Go Bricks and showing off that there is always pad printing on all their pieces. We never get any kind of stickers or anything with Pantasy. They really do it all in a special way. Here are the measurements for the build, but for anyone who doesn't understand how this is read, it is a 32 by 32 plate, which we have mills plated today. And again, on the back, you can see all the modular features and a bunch of other really fun features like the arcade, places to sit, the actual build, some of the mechanisms. A really, really cool build on display here. And in order to actually get a build done, the instructions are so important, and I'm so happy to say Pantasy have got these instructions completely right again. They split it into 2 books, but neither one of them is actually that wide, so it really, doesn't make the build feel too tedious or anything, makes it go really quick. Yeah, the actual instructions really nicely printed. The colours look great, so there's never any confusion about what kind of pieces you need where. All of the set looks really, really good. And honestly, the instructions just made everything really easy to follow. Oh, I've accidentally flipped over to the bit where you build the little mini Astro Boy, which I think is really, really cool. Pantasy often include spare pieces as well. And just to show you guys, this is kind of the bags that we are dealing with here. The Pantasy branding is so, so good and looks amazing. Like I said, that's what makes Pantasy feel so special as a company. The fact that it is so designed down to a T and it all looks so good. And along with that bag of spare pieces, we also just get a bunch of normal spare pieces along with the main bags that we have, which makes it really cool. And we can put these towards building more sets in future. Well, that's something I just really like. These parts I'll explain a little bit later, but to do that, let's take a look at the build. And here we go, guys. This is the main event. This is what you guys have come here to see. It is Pantasy's toy store. First of all, I'm just going to point out what looks great to me. This is an entirely printed piece, specially molded, specially printed just for the set. I love stuff like that. We've even got the 2020, which is when Pantasy was founded. Stuff like that I absolutely love. I love these nutcrackers that you can spin around. I think that's a really cool feature. I don't know if mine are in exact order because they are a little bit tight. Oh, there we go. Come around quite nicely there. They look absolutely amazing. We can see more toys in the front there. It looks great. We've got more printing everywhere in the set. But the colours really pop. The gold, I love that Pantasy always like to flex their use of gold bricks. They've got them absolutely perfect and they always look really, really good. The bench here looks great. The shopping cart looks great. Honestly, everything looks great. You can see Pantasy's rocket right there in the window. Some really great features. Towards the back, not as much going on, but there is still a bit of space for the build to have some breathing room, and two little balcony spaces. The first one here has a bit of a sun lounger and a drink. You can kind of see where you would go up to this spiral of a tower, which looks really, really good. A lot of castle theming, which is a really nice way to do a toy store. And then this balcony actually has its own seesaw, which is a pretty cool feature if you ask me. You can see how we'd get up there. And then this part has a little bit of a clown attached, as that can be opened up. Speaking of opening things up though, why don't we take a look inside the build and show off the interior. So just as shown, the favourite part about these is obviously you can take each floor pot. That is obviously a modular feature that Pantasy have. But you can also unlock the floors by just taking out the backs like this. A really, really good feature that I think, promotes what modulars are about. I don't feel so pressured to take all my builds apart, and it just feels like an easier way to access. So here we go. You can see on the first floor, a lot of that toy store is going on. We've got like steampunk vibes and a lot of recreations of actual Pantasy sets. You can see the Astro Boy there, another rocket over in the back, a bunch of like a pirate ship here in the front. Some really, really cool sets. You can see a rocket, more great printed pieces. Doesn't this all look good? The checkout looks great. And across this back wall, we can see a bunch of like teddy bears, a whole Pantasy printed tile, which I think looks really, really good. This was their gumball machine, I believe, their telephone, famous Pantasy builds that I'm sure we all know and love that look fantastic in their own, in a miniature form. The second floor is interesting. So we move on to an arcade. You can see there's an air hockey table there. Obviously, you have the nutcrackers, a little Christmas tree in that corner. And then these three right here are actually really cool versions of just like normal arcade games. On this back wall, we have the bang, and this can flip to the clown, which I do really like that feature with two game controllers. You can see the retro pinball is one of these machines. Along with this game where you can pull the button and the guy actually jumps. I love that feature. And then this racing car game where you can see you have the full seat there with all of the features. Now, there were so many positives to this set, but I will talk about the one major negative that I did have, just so you have a great picture of what this set is like. So actually the last thing you need to do in the build is this like spiral tower, and this part was really difficult. You are meant to have these leaves over here, which we mentioned earlier, just in there along with these two, but it was really hard to actually get them in and still get the tower on. It definitely would have been possible, but it was really difficult and a big struggle that I had. But it didn't really put the build back in my eyes, to be honest. I still love the build and everything that it stands for. That's why I'm giving this one Ballistic Bricks approved. An absolutely fantastic build and an amazing monument to the 5 years of Pantasy fun that we've just had. I think it's fantastic that we're getting sets like this. Again, Pantasy have had so many fantastic modulars this year that I've had the honour of being able to build a lot of them. More recently, we even built Pantasy's windmill, which was really, really good and looks great in our city. But if you guys want to see this put in the city, make sure to stick around because this will definitely be going in soon. And I do have the Bricklink Lego store, which will be a really fun comparison to see how the Pantasy versus Lego store stack up against each other. For anyone who watches me on TikTok, you'll also know I received this from Pantasy recently to celebrate their 5th birthday. A really, really nice way to show it off. So I just want to show this off. You can see it in further detail on my TikTok or YouTube shorts. But basically to show how good of a company Pantasy is. Not many other companies are putting this much dedication into their customers and their collaborators. But Pantasy always are. They're always looking for the consumer rather than themselves. And that's why they've had some of the best builds over the last few years. Pantasy are one of my favourite companies, and I could not have the Lego City I do without them. I'm really lucky to be working with them. And we're all really lucky to have a company like this competing with Lego in great prices, great builds, great printing, and really everything building should be about. They really promote what alternate bricks should be about, and that's why I really like them. Another thing they do is, if you're missing a brick here and there, which doesn't normally happen, especially for me, is they do send that out. You can get in contact with them pretty easily. But yeah, again, so much to talk about with positivity about Pantasy. I have a bunch more videos with Pantasy that you guys can go and check out now if you want to hear more about the company, but I will leave all the necessary links in my description as well as a discount code, which is pretty exciting. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Ballistic Bricks. I'm so sorry the videos have been only one a week again recently. I'm super busy. I'm working on some really big stuff outside of YouTube. But I'm hoping towards later on in the year we will have that. But guys, I still really appreciate all your comments and everything. I'll always let you know that. And always happy to talk to anyone who shoots me a DM or anything like that. Again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Bye.